at Lookuptv on X, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. With me on set is Liz Ndabi, who is a counselor, just to help us understand what exactly is happening. These numbers are skyrocketing. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
And since Tuesday was World Mental Health Day,
yes,
then how would you rate your mental health, if you don't mind sharing, because this is a public platform?
Personally, I would say about maybe 60%, because of whatever is happening in the country.
Right.
So many things have changed. So I cannot say that 100%.
Right.
At about 60, because as you know, many things are happening. Foodstuffs, the prices have gone up.
Yeah.
The living conditions are not very well. So I don't think we have someone who is 100% at the moment.
Is there anything like 100%? Can someone be 100% okay mentally?
Not really, because mental health is how we relate to things, how we act to different issues. So, and everybody else have something that you're going through, something that is going through your mind or your life. So at the moment, there is no one who is 100%. Mm-hmm. We can't say there's that 100%.
So there's no perfection,
no
but
perfection.
we just try to be better.
We are just trying to be better every day. Okay. So that that's why we keep on telling people to just evaluate yourself so that you can see where you are. How are you handling the stress that you're going through, the issues that are coming through your life? How are you handling them? Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kenya rates number 4 in Africa.
Yeah.
Among the countries that, mental health and anxiety and depression.
Yes.
So number 4 is pretty high.
Very
high up on that list.
Yes.
What is so different from Kenya and the rest of Africa?
I can say that, one, as you said, number 4 is very high. Right. We're just close to number 1.
Yeah.
And as you know, many things are happening in Kenya. Recently, I think this year, we have had the rise of, commodities and fuel and lifestyle changed. And so many people are going through issues. Again, there is no, as many people as you know, even as we walk along the streets, not many people are having jobs.
Right.
You can find many people in our CBD. They just seated there waiting for the day to end, not knowing what you're going home with.
Right, many people at Hilton, at Archives.
Hilton, yes, at Jivanji. Right. There are so many other places. And, at Uhuru Park, you find people sleeping on the grass and they don't know what to do. So that has really contributed, and mostly also to our students, the graduates who are coming from university. Right. You have gone through a course or maybe a program, and you don't have a job. So what next? The only thing that you can do is just to find somewhere that is giving you comfort, maybe to sleep, to sit, and you count the cars that are going up and down, people who are coming in and going out of Nairobi. And so that has really also made maybe helped maybe the number to go to number 4, and we are hoping that with time we'll not go to number 1. We'll be able to help our people to go through that. Yes.
Get down on that list somehow.
Yeah.
But Kenya is not different from the rest of the world.
Yes.
Which is going through, the high cost of living is cutting across, prices of fuel cutting across the world. Yeah. So could it be that our response to the mental health care perhaps is the gap right here?
Actually, the way we respond as Kenyans to issues is we just need to change how we respond to those issues, because mental health is how you act, respond to issues. Like if you're going through something stressing you, how do you respond to it? If it is those in the families, maybe your family is breaking down, how do you respond to that? Those people who are going through divorce and separation, how do you respond to that? Those who are going through, drug addictions, maybe the parents and their children are addicted. How do you respond to that? Right. Because that is all it matters. Because mental health is a process. and you have to go through the process so that you can now be declared maybe mentally, healthy. But most people do not respond maybe positively, if we can say so.
Right, and can we get down to the definition?
Yes.
What would you call someone who's mentally healthy? What does that look like?
Yes, it's somebody who is able to navigate through the issues of life, able to go through or maybe, okay, let's say go through the issues,
right,
and able to respond to them without being, without wearing out.
Right.
That is somebody who is now mentally stable. But many people, they break down. That's why you can see a professional, a whole lawyer, is going through a mental disorder and is taking life of his family,
right,
and even himself. And yet, he was walking in our streets. Yet, he was in court, representing other people's cases. But now, he's not mentally stable.
Right.
Yes.
And cases of anxiety and depression, which were highest even during the COVID-19
yes,
period, and just brought some realization to the dire state of mental health in the country. So then, depression and anxiety,
yes,
how can people go about it?
That is actually mental health disorders, from where I sit, should be declared as as a disaster,
right,
in our country, because you find many people are depressed, many people are going through trauma, many people are going through very hard times. But when somebody wants to maybe come out of the depression, or even you can be able to identify, you can be able to be helped, one is for people to come out and talk.
Right.
We call it talk therapy. People, okay, it depends on maybe the person, but that is one of the best remedies to handle maybe mental disorders. Just talking, identifying somebody you can talk to. And I always keep on telling my friends, keep on checking on your friends. If you don't see someone who is very active or online,
who posts so many stories,
and all of a sudden in 2 days, 3 days, you can't see them, please call them, because they may be going through an issue and they're not able to express it. I don't know whether you saw a very young girl who died some time back, I think last week but one, and the family says she was okay. She was on phone, she was talking to people,
right,
but all of a sudden waking up in the morning, she's not there. The girl was depressed, but nobody could tell because she's always on phone, but she's not talking to anyone. So I always tell and advise people and my friends that keep on talking to your friends. Even just maybe make an point of knowing what is going on in their lives, you know.
But many people argue right now that with the cost of living, they have to think about a side hustle.
Yeah.
They have to think about what the kids will eat. So there's so many things going on.
Yeah.
So they don't have time to check up on each other. So then how do we address this? If everyone is busy handling something.
Yes. I know and I understand that we are all busy looking for something to take home. But I can tell you, there are friends who, and maybe the family needs to really now be a family, be our brothers and sisters keeper. If I don't see my family member for 2 or 3 days, if I don't hear from them, let's now go back to the family and now find out from your other family member, what are they up to, where they are, what are they doing, maybe they lost a job, that kind of a thing. And what I have done, maybe I can take you through, is to start just a small organization called Check on Me. I keep on checking on people. How are you doing? Maybe somebody who lost a job. What are you up to now? Maybe somebody who is not in school and I know maybe doesn't have school fees. So I just want some people to talk to me. I may not have all the solutions, but when you talk, when I just sit there and listen to your story, you're venting, It is coming out. And we always say that that burden, when you share it, the burden becomes lighter.
Right.
But when you carry it alone, it is so difficult, it is not going to end up well, and that's why we can see many people are dying. Very young and very old, they're dying, and you wonder, why did they die? I wish they talked.
Right.
But as you said, we understand everybody is busy running up and down, but I want us, I'm urging our viewers and even our friends to, have that best practice
Right,
of checking
be very
on people.
intentional.
Intentional.
Right.
If I don't hear from you from today, maybe I should be calling you by Monday. How are you doing?
Right.
Yes.
And adulting in itself is a lot of work. You grow up and you get a job, and now there are all these bills. Then you have to, they said once you're above 30,
Yes.
you know the background. You can't say
Yes.
my parents,
Yes.
you know the background.
Yes.
You'll influence the whole generation that is coming
Yes.
after you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure.
True.
People just want to feel like they're normal. That's the fight. Like, I have a job, then I function properly, then I keep up with my family,
Yes.
as well as I do a good job at work. The balance of all this,
Yes.
it can be overwhelming.
It is. But I always, and I would maybe talk to our people and tell them to just be simple. Be simple.
Right.
Do not be extravagant. Do not live beyond your means, because you find many people are going beyond their means.
Right.
People because you want to prove a point to people. So you want to go beyond your means, and you fuel your car, and your car is a guzzler.
Right.
But you just want to prove a point. If it doesn't get there, please take a mat and get to work. And nobody will judge you. Everybody is busy.
Everyone is focusing on the issues.
Yes, nobody is like there to check whether you came with a car or not. Everybody is busy. If it means that you shift from where you stay to a house that is a bit cheaper than where you are, please do it. Because with that, you're making your burdens lighter.
Right.
But when you keep on proving a point to people, people don't care about you. But when you die, we'll come for your funeral, and we take nyama choma when you're going home,
Right.
and there you are gone.
That's the sad reality.
That is a sad, and that is why we want to encourage our people. Do not go beyond your means. Just be humble. Do what you can. Just check around what you have and live. Don't go beyond your means.
But as you say that, contentment.
Yes.
I say it's a gift.
Yes.
Because a brother of mine has that.
Yes.
He never feels the pressure. But now, a lot of people, much as you tell yourself, I don't want to feel the pressure.
Yes.
But if your age mates are to a certain level, maybe all your age mates are married, for example, all your age mates are driving, all your age mates are working in NGOs and big organizations, well-known organizations, and when you ask where you work, you're like, you say the name and they're like, oh, where is that? So you see, you just want to belong. That's also a need. So how then can we just be contented and shut all those voices
Yes.
in our heads?
I would say maybe encourage our lecturers in our colleges.
Right.
When we are, letting these students go out, now they have graduated. I think we need to have sessions in the university, in our colleges, where we need to take these young men and women through those sessions so that they can understand you don't have to be like everybody else.
Right.
You don't have to be like your fellow students. Some will get jobs very fast, others will delay. That does not mean that your life is done. Just trust the process that you are not equal. We are not all equal.
Right.
That's why we have a whole, like our colleague, like our friend, who is a president. And now we are here as the citizens. We cannot all fit in State House. And so we have to trust the process. But I think it should start all the way from maybe from the university, so that when their students are going out.
Right, so it can be inculcated in your system.
In the system.
That you have your journey alone.
Yes, just like what we do when we have the students from high school to university.
Right.
They're taking that session, that now you're not a kid anymore. you're going to university, now you are, a grown-up. You're supposed to take care of yourself, to plan on how you're going to study.
Right.
The same should be done to those students who are coming out now to the world, so that it can be in their system. It is not just proving a point.
Right.
Now you have to, whatever you get, you're contented with it.
So there's a lot that our institutions and the society needs to do.
Absolutely.
Right. And before we had this discussion,
Yes.
my director was actually telling me you're having a discussion about mental health.
Yes.
What's going to be different? But I say, have we had this conversation enough? That's the big question.
I don't think we have it enough. We can see, like our second lady, Honorable Dorcas Rigathi,
Right.
she undertook that she want to spearhead that, so that now everybody can be able to understand about mental health. We also saw like the women rep in Kiambu doing the same to the young men and to men who are jobless in Kiambu County. We have seen that. I don't think even from where we sit, we have talked about it enough.
Right.
It should be in our system about mental health, because everybody is going through issues and they should know how to respond to those issues. Everybody should know when this comes, this is how I handle it. Right. So that now by the end of it all, we don't have people who are not mentally healthy.
Right.
We want everybody to have a balance. We understand life is a bit difficult, but we also want you to understand and be able to balance your life so that you're not 100%, but you're not again on the extreme of being mentally ill.
Right. And it's a growing conversation
Yeah.
across the world and specifically even in the country.
Yes.
But there are some people who still don't quite understand suicide.
Yeah.
Some people judge people who commit suicide very
Yes.
harshly,
Yes.
Call it selfish.
Yes.
But when we look at suicide, which is highly
Yes.
on the increase
Yes.
right now in the country, and how then can people, what goes in the mind of the person at that point, and now how can we just handle each other better?
There is a lot of stigma in the society, and especially when we know somebody is going through issues. For example, when somebody is an addict of alcohol, we always try to judge the person, but we don't want to understand the underlying issues
Right.
behind, the drinking. And I always encourage our people, before you judge someone, just sit with them down, understand why is this happening, because unless you understand, you're not able to judge.
Right.
But because of the stigma in the society, most of the people tend to pull back. They don't want to talk. They want to separate themselves from the crowd and the families and all that. And when they take a back seat, the next thing that happens is the suicidal thoughts.
Right.
And the next thing is the action. Just, I think this week, we buried a young man. And when I was, finding out what happened to him, I was told, actually, he has been talking about it. He became a drunkard. But I wanted to know what exactly happened so that he can, commit suicide. And the stories that are around is that, the stigma in the society,
Right.
things happening to him, but everybody is like, we understand you, you're just like that. So when he was rejected at home, rejected by the society, the next thing he did, he made a joke.
Right.
And he was like, when you look for me, I'll let you know where you'll find me, in a well. And so everybody was like, we understand, that is who you are. But true to his word, that is what happened.
Right.
He missed for 2 days, and people are like, oh, he said. So let's look for him. That is where he was found.
Wow.
Very sad, the
Right.
stigma in the society.
Right.
Yeah.
And on that point, to take a very short break here on the program. What is the state of your mental health? Let us know at X, at Lookuptv on X, on Facebook, and on our YouTube channel. Don't go too far.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookuptv, your official SME media partner.
This is Center Stage. Nancy Nalima here and Liz Ndabi, Councillor, right here in studio. We are talking about mental health crisis in the country. And let's continue, Liz. From the statistics that I have here from the WHO, it says that 1 out of 5 Kenyans will have a mental illness in their lifetime.
Yes.
That is pretty alarming.
Very.
Right.
Very.
So in their lifetime, so just given already what people are going through right now,
Yes.
and people who are checking in hospital, out of every 4,
Yes.
1 person has a mental health condition.
Yes.
Is there a way around this?
Actually, we have the statistics from Kenyan National Commission of Human Rights.
Right.
That out of, the estimates are 25% and 40% of outpatients and inpatients who are in hospitals are going through mental health issues.
Right.
So that means that even the children, I think we changed the way of life. Earlier in life, when we were growing up, these issues were not there.
Right.
I think the parents who are raising their kids now, they're not able to contain the stress, so it is passed through their children.
Right.
People fight in front of their children. People abuse each other, in front of their children. People abuse their children. And therefore, when that child is growing up, that is why we are saying 1 out of 5.
Right.
When that child is growing up, he or she is already stressed. He or she is already going through trauma.
Right.
And so you find many people as they grow.
So we just have sick generations coming in.
And that's why mostly we have childhood, issues coming up when people grow up, because they grew up through stress, through trauma, and so they carry it with them to adulthood.
Right.
So many people do, when it comes to adulthood, it is just now, presenting itself. The problem is presenting itself. But underlying down there is what they went through when they were children.
Right.
So even the people who, because I believe that we don't have many people who are old at the moment. Many people from the years of 1960 there,
Right.
coming up to 80s and 90s.
Right.
That is what is going on. So you find many people in the hospitals, they are going through mental health issues. And my advice would be even to the counties, because the health issues were devolved now to the counties. Let's have policies in the counties. Let's now embrace the councillors who can help these people, even employ them in the hospitals, so that now some of those cases, because some of them are not medical, they're just psychological. They're handled by the councillors, and when that person, within 1 or 2 weeks, they're okay to go home. But now we take them to the doctor, they're given the medicine, but they're not psychologically okay. So they go back home when they're still mentally ill. Yes.
And mental illness,
yes,
it's an illness. Like, it's not minor.
Yes, it is an illness.
Right.
Yes.
And when you talk about the counties,
yes,
psychiatric units are available in just 25 counties.
Yeah.
And then the other 20-something now have the extra burden.
Yes.
So much as the Ministry of Health has acknowledged mental health care, as dire and it needs attention, and there was a task force that was made in 2021 just to address the situation. It has tried to implement a few things. But when you look about 25 psychiatric units against the 47 counties that we have, that is still a pretty low number.
It is low, and that's why we appeal to our government to address this issue of mental illness as a disaster. Because it is going to cause more harm to our people than lacking food. Many people are going to even die. People are going to commit suicide just because of that mental illness. And it's so unfortunate that it doesn't hurt. You don't feel the pain. There's no that pain that you can say it's painful. Like depression is not painful. You don't feel the pain, but it is eating you from inside. So unless we now join hands with the government, with the counties, with those organizations that can help us to join hands and now face this elephant in the house head on, we are going to lose many people.
Right. Yeah. And many people who've been diagnosed with depression, majorly, they talk about a feeling of loneliness.
Yes.
How do people get there?
Remember I said when we were beginning that when you have a mental illness, you always want to, withdraw from people. So you are alone. So when you become alone, you become lonely. You don't want to interact with people. You don't want to share your issues. You prefer being alone. So when you are lonely, I said the next thing that comes is suicidal thoughts. Because you try, there's something that comes in the mind, and you're like, you are hearing other voices.
Right.
And we always say, those who are a bit religious, they always say that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So I think that time is when now the devil works with your mind. You can see that nobody loves you, nobody wants to associate with you. And yet, you withdraw yourself from the society, from your family. When you become lonely, there's nothing, you don't want to do anything, you withdraw even from work. We have seen people who are great people in the society.
Right.
They withdraw, they don't want to do anything. When they withdraw, you become lonely.
Right.
Yes.
And financial instability, poverty, they rate high among cases of depression, cases of suicide. But again, there's still another percentage of people who are well-to-do in the society, rich, stable, successful in the eyes of society, but still they go through these illnesses, mental illnesses, and as well even commit suicide in some cases.
There's a word that you used when we were in the midst of our discussion.
Right.
Contentment.
Right.
Because you may have everything. You may have all the money that you need. You may have nothing. But that word contentment, you are very far from it. So that's why we are saying that you need to understand yourself, understand where you are in life, so that you can be able to have a balance. Be contented with what you have. And that's why I said, like even for the students who are coming now to the world, they should go through that, go through that program, that whatever you get, it is not about the big money that you're looking for. Right. Be contented with that small. As long as you have the basics now, you have food, shelter, and clothing. Now, just live within your means. Right. But many of the people we have, Yes, they are well up, they are living well, they are driving the best cars, they have all the money that they need. They're not contented.
Right.
They want more. So whenever they lose something, they become depressed. Why am I losing and I want more? But they're not contented with what they have,
Right.
and what they have been
There
given.
was a former Miss USA who made headlines, and you know, a beautiful girl, a girl, a smart girl.
Yes.
She was undertaking a science course.
Yes.
And she committed suicide and left tongues wagging. You know, like she is the definition in society's eyes of perfection.
Yes.
Like you're a smart girl, you're a beautiful girl, you run businesses. So what could still eat someone when they look like, in the eyes of society, like they are okay?
Mostly when we have such people committing suicide is because from the word go, maybe they wanted just to prove a point.
Right.
Maybe they went through, when they were growing up, maybe in school or in the family, they went through some things in life, maybe somebody looked down on them,
Right.
and so in their heart, they wanted to make a point, I can do it. It was not in them. I just want to make a point. And when you make a point, you come to your end, yeah? And so maybe for such a girl who is in the society, we may look at her as a good girl, a smart girl, doing a very good course, maybe having a good job and all that, maybe wanted to make a point. Number two, you know, the expectations are very high.
Right.
Remember when you're very high in the society, you lack people to match with your status.
Right.
So sometimes maybe you don't have friends, and whoever now want to interact with you, you just say, these are not in my class. So you become lonely again. Nobody want to interact.
Lonely at the
with-
top, they say.
It is. It is. I saw someone who went back to class, a whole CEO, going back to class
Right.
to do a master's so that he can interact with people. Because I asked him, why you have all that you needed in life? But he was like, I don't have friends.
Wow.
Nobody is willing to, you know, sit with me. So he was willing to sit with people who are doing their bachelor's degree,
Right.
just so that they can interact in the university, just to have people who are close to them. So most of the times that's why we should check ourselves, that even as you grow, it is good to grow with people.
Right.
Grow with people who you can interact with, so that you don't become lonely when you are at the top.
At the top. Yes. And workplace. You know, this is a very integral part.
Yes.
Because we spend a lot of hours, even more hours, and especially for a profession like ours.
Yes.
You spend more hours at your workplace than you do at your home. So the stresses that come with the workplace,
Yeah.
how can someone handle it? And considering that we've talked about the high cost of living,
Yes.
we need jobs, but the environment can be toxic. How do we go around it? And just handling, when you want to handle the HR and you want to handle your boss and you still want to do your work well, not cross too many people.
Yeah.
Just want to be okay with everyone and make your
Yes,
money and go
yes,
home.
yes.
But it can be difficult to get that at the same time.
Absolutely. But maybe there are two things we can look at. One, I always say that it's good to differentiate issues. Differentiate that you are now at your place of work.
Right.
There are things that go through that place of work. Whatever has gone through should not be transferred at home. So whatever you do at work, leave it at the gate of your office or even at the door of your office. Lock it there and tell them, I'll come back tomorrow. So that when you go home, you're able to interact now with your children, with your spouses, with your family members. Again, when you're coming from home, do not now carry your home to your workplace. Differentiating issues.
Right.
So that now you're able to balance. Because when you're able to balance, that is when we say that you're mentally healthy.
Right.
You're mentally okay. But most of the people we carry home to work, work to home. And you always see people who carry maybe their laptops, you know, while going home.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I discourage people. If it is at the workplace, leave it at the workplace. If it is at home, do whatever you're supposed to do at home. Do not carry it back to work. But we always see, because people have not been able to embrace maybe counseling sessions. Many people are not aware of these things. They just do things the way they're done. And maybe the other issue now is to encourage our people to have like a personal counselor, somebody you can call and, just ask a question, maybe you're ready to be mentored, or they can walk with you.
Right.
So that now when these things become overwhelming, there's someone somewhere, just a phone call away, you can vent to, you can talk to, you can maybe consult, or even whatever you want to do with that person, as long as you're talking to them, as long as you're venting, as long as they are working with you that journey, at least you're okay. But I don't know whether many of our people find like counselors like you're going too far.
It means you're almost crazy.
Yes, but that is not the issue.
Right.
If you start from that first step, you'll be helped. Because many people have died, and maybe at some point, somebody will say, but they had said something.
Right.
But now they never continued to talk to the person or to their counselor.
Right.
So I would urge our Kenyans, our friends, please get a counselor, get someone you can talk to, somebody you can vent to, whatever you're going through at home, whatever you're going through at work, just somebody you can talk to. When you talk, we call it talk therapy. It somehow, lightens the burden.
Right.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's going through a lot, sometimes you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
There are a lot of issues.
Yes.
The way they have been bottling for so long.
Yes.
So how can someone just start addressing when they feel like they don't know where to start?
Number one is to do a self-examination.
Right.
That is how it starts. You need to evaluate yourself, just to pick a few things that are going through your life. There are people who oversleep. There are people who do not get sleep. Those are some of the signs.
Right.
People who overeat. And you can always tell these things, that now I think I'm overeating. I think I'm undereating. I think I'm oversleeping.
Right.
When you always see that you are kind of withdrawing yourself, you don't want many things with people, you just want to be alone. Those are some of the signs to identify. Once you do that and you have those signs with you, it's always good to take a step. Identify and seek help. And seeking help is, as I said, is to look for a counselor, talk to the counselor. They're able to help you identify the disorder that you have. Many of the people maybe are not medically ill.
Right.
Maybe it is psychological. The counselor is able to tell. If you need to see a doctor, they'll do a referral. If you need some counseling, you will arrange for sessions. Yes.
Right.
Once you do that, and then now you're able to follow, the process. Because I always say that mental health is just a process. It is not a destination.
Right.
It is just a process.
An everyday thing.
Yes.
And as we continue to create awareness
Yes.
of mental health,
Yes.
then what role do you think the school should play, institutions generally?
One, every institution should have an in-house counselor, and many of them do. Many of them do, so that they can be able to help the students. Two, the counselors who are in those institutions should plan now for those programs oftenly.
Right.
Because as we said, this is an everyday thing. Every day you're facing different issues. So that now our students, our people, even the staff members should now be able to, talk, be able to vent whatever they're going through. Once that is done, we are able to at least help our society.
Right.
Yeah.
And the church.
Yes.
The church. For a long time again,
Yeah.
the church is where people go seek help.
Yes.
But the church has also been at the center of passing harsh judgment
Yes.
to people who've lived their life in a different way.
Yes.
So what should the church be doing today? Because there are many sick people who are going to church.
As you said, many of us go to church because we always, and we think that we're going to get solace there, we're going to get comfort there.
Right.
But as you said, many people judge you. I wish the church could change. Number one, come to senses now that life is not like before. Many are the things that are going through our people. And so, number one, they should not be judgmental. wherever you come from, whatever you are doing, when you have made a decision to go to church, it means that you have taken a step,
Right.
if I call it a step of faith. And so when you get to church, now you need healing. So our pastors, our ministers, now should take up that, even if it is having volunteers or maybe counselors who are within the church,
Right.
who can be able now to work with these people through. People who are trained to, to counsel these people. And then finally, maybe the ministers, the clergy, now take up, that spiritual part of it,
Right.
taking them through, praying with them, so that now they can be able to have a complete healing.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that 1.9 million Kenyans suffer from depression. So we don't know, it could be 5 people in here, one of us
Yes.
is going through it, is
Yes.
depressed, has some form of mental illness.
Yes.
So how should we treat each other? I know we'll start by judging less,
Yes.
but how can we treat each other better, because we don't know what the other person is going through?
As I said from the beginning, it's always good to be our brothers and sisters keeper. That I know you, I know whatever you have. I mean, I can always tell when you're doing well, when you're not.
Right.
That is the first step. Number 2, as you said, let us not judge each other. None of us is good. None of us is 100%.
True.
We are still at 60, 70, 80, 90 there. So let us not judge each other. Let us also help each other. Because you find many people do not get help, even from their very small circle. They don't get help. And somebody said that 6 people will carry your coffin when you die,
Right.
but the 6 people cannot help you when you are alive. So let us have those circles and help each other, even if it is, not in a big way, in a very small way.
Right.
Somebody may be looking for a packet of unga. We can even contribute and give that person, and that one will take them for another day or 2.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And we have to close. This is a
Yeah.
never-ending conversation.
Yes.
And we have to talk about this more.
Yes,
Because
we
these
need to.
numbers never lie.
Oh, yes.
And they're highest that they've ever been at this point.
True.
Liz Ndabi, a counselor right here with us on the center stage, a mental health crisis in the country. Very alarming numbers, putting Kenya at number 4 in Africa, with 1.9 million Kenyans being diagnosed with depression. Let's keep the conversation going across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on X, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. And let's just continue talking about it some more, and let's have a healthier nation. I am Nancy Nelema. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a pleasant weekend and evening as well. And check on your brother and your sister. Good night.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through